A well-behaved spacecraft, a Mars Perseverance update. I'm Tonya Hall, and joining me is Matt Wallace, Mars 2020 Perseverance Deputy Project Manager at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Welcome back, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for taking time out on such a busy week. First, let me congratulate you. I should say, in fact, your entire Mars 2020 team for the project's remarkable success so far. Everyone here in the studio watched the descent and the landing, and we cheered right along with you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. There's thousands of people here that contributed just to JPL. All the NASA centers were part of this team. Over 1,000 different industry partners, people, and contributing organizations around the world. So it's a huge team effort, and we're all super pleased and proud.
We know you're living on Mars time, so we'll get right into it. How is everything going with the mission so far?
It's going very well. I knock on wood every time I say that, but it's gone extremely well. We had a great landing, kind of right down the middle. There's always a little thing here and there that has to get run down, but the system performed just beautifully. And we landed in a super interesting spot. And the first couple weeks on Mars have so far been terrific. We got through our initial commissioning. The spacecraft is stable. Everything is nominal. It likes being on Mars. Clearly, it likes being at Jezero Crater. That's what it's designed for. And so it couldn't be going any better.
What are some of the milestones for Perseverance scheduled over the next weeks?
Well, we have a couple big ones that we've already knocked off. We've managed to get some of the first sounds recorded on the surface of Mars, which is pretty cool. We transitioned into our surface flight software, which is a big deal for us. That's where we have all the capability we need to do the surface mission. We've checked out all the instruments and all the engineering systems. They all look good so far. That's great. In the next couple of days, we're going to be deploying out the robot arm in front of us, and we'll be looking back at ourselves with the camera on the end of the arm to kind of look underneath the vehicle, make sure everything looks fine there. And we'll be prepping for our first drive. Actually, we're going to check out our mobility system this week, and move on from there. We'll be trying to get ready really in the next few weeks to start preparing for helicopter operations. The Ingenuity helicopter is safe and sound underneath the belly of the vehicle. And so we seem to have landed in a spot that might be pretty conducive to actually flying the helicopter. We weren't sure about that. We thought we might have to drive a bit. So that's good news. That's all coming up, as well as some of our first, sampling in the summertime frame. So.
Speaking of Ingenuity, what steps will it need to perform to get it into the Martian air?
Ingenuity will start off slow. First of all, we got to get it deployed off the vehicle, and that's a intricately timed, choreographed little dance between the two systems. We have to deploy the cover that's been protecting it as we landed first. Then we'll have to drive away from that cover, and we will have to drop the Ingenuity helicopter down, so rotate it down so it's kind of legs down. And then when we're sure everything is ready to go, we'll cut what we call the umbilical. It's essentially our interface, cable interface to it, and we'll drop the vehicle down underneath the rover. Now at that point, the rover is actually shadowing the solar arrays on Ingenuity, and Ingenuity is no longer getting power from the rover. And so it's pretty quick turnaround. We've got to drive pretty quickly so that we can get it out of the shadow. So that all has to happen first, and then the helicopter will do some engineering checkouts, spin some blades, that sort of thing, and start on its roughly 5 flights of technology demonstration which should take place over the course of about 30 days, or sols, as we call them on Mars. And we'll start with small flights, just up and down, and then a little bit more, and then a little, and so on and so forth, and hopefully get it to a point where it can fly about 50 meters out and back.
You also mentioned the sounds. Tell us how those are captured and what you heard exactly.
Well, we decided many years ago to add some commercial ruggedized cameras. These are the kinds of cameras that would be used in industrial applications or, sports cameras, those sorts of things. And when we added those cameras around the vehicle to capture that landing video, which hopefully a lot of people saw because it was spectacular, we had an interface for audio, and we said, hey, let's plug in a microphone and see what happens. We never captured audio from Mars before, and when we got to the surface, we ran the audio for just a short period of time, about 60 seconds, and sure enough, we captured a wind gust, and so it was pretty dramatic listening to the first sound, from Mars. And we could also hear the hum of our pump on the vehicle. We have a pump that circulates fluid, and so that's what that was the first application sound, and we're going to keep using that microphone, assuming it survives, long enough. It's just a commercial microphone you can buy, anywhere on the net, and it's been doing well so far. So we're hoping to keep using it for when we drive and when we drill and do other things.
And the public can listen to the Martian Wind via the project's website, right?
That's right. That audio file is out there. I encourage everybody to put some some earphones on and or get into a quiet room with a good audio. A good woofer is helpful, and listen. It's really pretty dramatic. It really is. And we've gotten a lot of feedback from people that are actually visually impaired. People that have said, I've never been able to experience the exploration of Mars the way other people have. And this is the first time I really kind of feel like I'm part of this. And that's obviously very gratifying.
Perseverance is one more in a long line of Mars rover projects that you've worked on. And so far, they've all been huge successes. What's it like to work on projects that take years to bear fruit in a world where so many people's horizons extend just to maybe the end of a quarter? What kind of patience does that take?
it takes a different mindset, to really be working towards a goal for such a long period of time. People ask me how I feel and about launch or landing or whatever. And I find one of the best analogies, and not doesn't relate to everybody, but one of the best analogies I can give people is it's like being a parent. You start with just this little thing, idea, concept, or whatever, and it starts to develop and it starts to grow, and you start to realize you have to teach it things, and you have to help it understand. You have to prepare it for the world, and then suddenly it's time to launch it, and it's like watching your kid graduate from high school. There's great things out there for them, and you hope you've done everything you possibly could do to prepare them, but it's hard. It's hard to kind of let it go at that point. At the same time, when you land and you start the surface operations and all that great science and technology, you're just so proud. It's and so that may be one way to relate it for some people. For me, that's about as close as I've gotten so far in describing it.
Have there been any surprises or anything unexpected so far?
There have been, a few things here and there. Surprisingly, very little. I mean, the systems are so complex. I will tell you that, there's always something that surprises you. In fact, there's usually a lot of things. But the systems are designed to be robust when you do get surprised. And sure enough, That's been true on Perseverance, but really it's been a very clean run. I think as we go on and we check out more systems, more things will pop up. But for instance, I mentioned our software transition, we're finding that there was a small idiosyncrasy with that surface transition where we got a warning that we didn't expect. The system was fine with it. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. It didn't have to take any action. It was just something to notify us, hey, this happened. And, so little things like that so far. But honestly, beyond that, it's just been remarkably clean. It's been really a well-behaved spacecraft, exceptionally well-behaved. Probably the best I've ever worked on so far. Knock on wood.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations again, Matt. The world sends best wishes to the entire team and to the 2 newest residents of the Red Planet. If somebody wants to connect with you, Matt, what's the best way they can do that?
Well, it's easy to find our websites. They're all over, and so you just have to Google, Mars 2020 Perseverance JPL, and we'll take you right there. And there's a lot of great virtual experiences for people, photo booths and things like that, where you can take a picture of yourself next to the rover on Mars. We've been getting, you can sign up to put your name on the next Mars mission, that's going to go and collect some of these samples we're going to get. So there's all kinds of great stuff for people to see out there, and that's what I would recommend they go and do, and look at these remarkable pictures and videos that have come back from the system. It's just, I go myself every day to go and look and just gawk with my mouth open. It's stunning. It really, really is. And so I hope people will go and take a look around the websites.
Well, absolutely. Thanks again, Matt. So exciting. And we'll be in touch soon with some more updates.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. That was Matt Wallace, Mars 2020 Perseverance Deputy Project Manager at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And I'm Tonya Hall, and you can find more of my interviews right here, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or at tonyahall.net. Thanks for watching.